Portions of the following program may have been pre-recorded.
The following program's views, claims, or ideas may not reflect those of WSRR Radio or StylesRebelRadio.com.
And now, we take you behind enemy lines with Lucas DeRazio and Dom Ferro on WSRR Radio.
All Browns fans will go to heaven where football season's never ending. The leaves have changed, smell it in the air. Where every morning is a Sunday morning, the grill is firing and the drinks are pouring. All Browns fans will go to heaven and our Modell can go to hell.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back here on Behind Enemy Lines. Another week, another episode of the best show in town here on WSR Radio. Dom Ferro here as always with Lucas DeRazio. And the Super Bowl came and it went. In one of the most forgettable games, some would say, of all time. And one of the worst quarterback performances of all time in Drake May. This one just didn't deliver. Some say I called it on this program for a couple weeks in a row. Said the Super Bowl had no juice. I said, I'll talk to you about it next week. The next week came. We gave you your preview. I said it was going to be garbage, and it was. Lucas, thoughts on the game as a whole?
I mean, yeah, I do think that it was probably one of the worst Super Bowls, like, in recent memory.
Yeah.
It wasn't even, like, fun either in the way that, like, I saw a clips from another podcast being like, last year, like, it was kind of a blowout, but, like, it was kind of unbelievable because Mahomes was getting blown out. There was always a chance he could come back. You know, the Eagles were scoring early and often. They had some, some fireworks off the bat. The Seahawks, what was it? Jason Myers scored like 12 points. I thought they were going to give the MVP to the kicker.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Which I think it's crazy that they offer that, like, on sports books, that you can bet, like, on the kicker to be MVP. Because this basically proved, like, it's never going to happen.
They're never going to, no matter what, baby.
Kenneth Walker, first running back since 1990-something. I think, like, the first Super Bowl MVP to ever win it without getting a touchdown in a game.
He was also the first
Offensive
running back in Super Bowl history since Terrell Davis to have 100-plus rushing yards.
Really? That's crazy.
Which, you think about that, I mean, like, in the 90s, it's crazy how, I mean, obviously the game has turned towards, like, a passing game, but it is wild that, especially in the big game, they really don't lean on the run game.
Yeah.
Which I don't love.
This game kind of silenced the running back haters because I think without Kenneth Walker, no, they still win this game without Kenneth Walker.
What if they have Zach Sharps, though? If they have Sharps,
sure.
they definitely win, but, like, Kenneth Walker probably only has 70 yards, and then Sharps has the other 70.
Yeah, and then does Darnold get it, or defensive guy? Because that defense put on one heck of a performance, but you compare it to last year's Super Bowl, like the Eagles, that felt like a more dominant defense performance.
Yeah.
It's this Super Bowl, it just felt like Drake May just did not have what it took.
Yeah, I agree. I think that he showed his, like, inexperience. I don't know if you saw the clip of, like, Julian Love, the Seahawks safety, but he was talking about it, like, he could tell the difference between him and Stafford, where he was like, there's a guy open there, but he's not going to throw it blindly. It's going to take him another step to get to that read, basically.
Yeah.
And that was what, got Julian Love that pick at the end of the game. You can watch that mic'd up moment. It'll be all over for the entire offseason, I'm sure. I've already seen it on, like, 3 different sports accounts posted on Instagram.
Wow, yeah, Drake May's getting a lot of hate. He was, like, the most loved guy all season. Then after this, it's like, he's the worst guy in the league. They've been acting like.
It's crazy.
Which I don't think he's that bad, but just not a, like, historically bad performance from this guy.
Yeah, and I mean, it wasn't he did get the some serious stat padding at the end of the game.
He did.
You look at it,
Doesn't
2
look bad.
touchdowns, 240, had the most yards in a fourth quarter of any quarterback in Super Bowl history. I think
all that. That is crazy.
But obviously the game was far out of reach at that point.
Had a good amount of rushing yards too.
Yeah, he did. He did.
He looked good when he was running.
Yeah, and he had to run a lot more than I think he wanted to because their offensive line looked so bad. Will Campbell
He was also
gave up the most pressures in, like, Super Bowl history by an offensive tackle.
Yeah.
and he did not fight and die to protect Drake May the way he said he would when he got drafted.
That's
You've
another
seen him run
guy
for that a lot
who
too.
like got nothing but love all season.
Yeah.
And then right after this game, it's like he's the worst offensive lineman in the NFL. Just the overreactions after the Super Bowl are crazy. Darnold, what is his like quarterback comparison? Does he have more to prove after this game?
I still think he has more to prove. I still love the story of Darnold. I was rooting for him because everyone wrote him off. He's the ultimate. I know Geno Smith had the quote, but like he's the ultimate. They wrote me off, and I ain't wrote back.
Geno was lying when he said that.
Yeah,
Darnold is real.
Now I will say Geno had some good years as a starter. Now now maybe it's time for him to get written off, and maybe he should write back.
Yeah.
Fernando's going to be moving into town in Vegas.
Fernando time.
But I will say this. I was thinking about it watching the highlights of this game. I think I said it last year in the offseason that I think the NFL is kind of like, obviously an elite quarterback is going to take you to where you need to be. And I think I said this when the Eagles won it last year. Like, the NFL's team building process is kind of changing a little bit. And, in these last 2 years, obviously Jalen Hurts is still a good quarterback and they have a lot of offensive weapons. But, like, the way that NFL rosters are being built now is changing slightly to where it's like we can win without a top 5 quarterback. Darnold, I love him, and I think that he had a really good year. But, like, he's still probably not a top 5 quarterback in the league.
Yeah.
Like, they had 2 really good running backs. They had the best receiver in the league. They had a good offensive line and a great defense. And they asked Darnold to do what he could, and he stepped up to the plate over and over this season. But, like,
crazy.
it's not like they were asking him to be Mahomes.
Is he Joe Flacco?
He might be. I mean, I don't know. It's
or is he Rex Grossman?
No, he's better
Grossman
than
didn't
Rex
win a Super
Grossman. Come on.
But I'm just saying, like, he's not a top 5 guy. I'm trying to think of other top 5 QBs who've made it.
I think he's kind of. I almost feel like the story's still out on him because like he's the only quarterback to win 14 games in back-to-back seasons.
Yeah.
He's the only quarterback to win a Super Bowl after being on his 5th team. He's the only quarterback who's started for 5 different teams and then won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's something.
Like, I almost feel like he's kind of like now getting into his quarterback prime.
He is still pretty young, too.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. He's not old. I mean, he only got drafted when he was, 22, 23?
Yeah.
At the oldest, I think he was. So I think that
he's 28.
Especially at a position like quarterback, like you can still hit your prime in the 8th year of your career or whatever it is now for him.
Definitely.
Because obviously it's a physical position and like the physical tools matter a lot, but like more than anything, like the mental side of it matters. I remember an interview from Tom Brady earlier this year when he was on a podcast and he was like, at however old in my career, like, I was the best I was maybe, but like in my 30s, I mastered the game. Like I fully understood everything. And that's why he was able to win a Super Bowl at, however old he was with the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
I think there's still like a lot more to be written in the Sam Darnold story if, what happens, what has been happening continues for him.
Yeah.
Because I think he could easily be a guy who plays 10 more years. Like look at Matt Stafford. Like he's a guy who years ago when he was at the Lions, people were like, yeah, he's probably, toning down to the back half of his career.
He's MVP.
And now he's the MVP of 2026.
Thank goodness that he won the MVP too. Because May didn't deserve it. I'm sorry. I'm a May hater. I've been one, and this finally I got something that proved me right. Because it was the luckiest season of all time. Luckiest like Super Bowl team to make a Super Bowl.
I will say they had a very
cakewalk.
They had an easy run to the Super Bowl for sure. Who they play in the first round? Or in the wild card round they played
they got the bye.
Yeah, they were the 1 seed.
Yeah.
Then they played the Texans, who CJ
C.J.
Stroud looked terrible.
awful.
Was also in the rain. CJ Stroud's an indoor quarterback. He had 4 turnovers. I think as a team they had 5 or 6.
So the biggest thing is Bo Nix getting hurt.
And then I was going to say the big matchup that was going to come down to the two second-year quarterbacks who both are really making strides and have great defenses behind them. And then Bo Nix gets hurt. There's a snowstorm in Denver in the second half. They did
didn't want Stidham though. That would have been even worse Super Bowl. We got that instead.
Yeah, 100%.
They found a way to pull through in that close game. Just I don't know, not an interesting 2025 NFL season. I'm hoping for a little more next year.
I do think that some people are going to like shit on the 2025 NFL season and say that it wasn't fun and it wasn't an entertaining season. I'm still a guy to stand by like parity's best for a league. The fact that, the Patriots made it and they've won 6 Super Bowls and been to 10 now is one thing, but like it's a completely different team than the last time they did.
Yeah.
The Seahawks are in it as again a team who hasn't, since the last time they were in the Super Bowl. It's a completely different team. We talked about it last week. The Chiefs, the Ravens, the Bengals, all those quarterbacks weren't in it. So I mean, I think it was an interesting and fun year to see new teams, and I think next year it's going to continue. Like I wouldn't be surprised if, it's a entirely new crop of teams in the playoffs.
Potentially. I'd like to see the AFC step it up a little more next year.
Yeah.
Because right now I think it's heavily in the NFC's favor.
Yeah.
I mean, if Mahomes, I think he'll bounce back. I think that'll be a threat. The Bills, they're always scary, but will they get over the hump? Then you look at the NFC, you got the Eagles who have been there, done that. You got the Seahawks who are building something like serious. They got a serious defensive identity.
Good, obviously, and they're still so young.
Yeah.
Too. That's the other thing about the Seahawks. Like, I feel like Sam Darnold's probably like the oldest guy, maybe DeMarcus Lawrence on the defensive side, but like of the key players that they have, it seems like Darnold and DeMarcus Lawrence are the 2 oldest guys. And like I said, for a quarterback, like Darnold might just now be moving into the prime of his career.
Yeah, and the offensive player of the year, Jackson Smith-Njigba, moving into his 3rd year.
Kenneth Walker only in his 3rd year.
I think this was his last year on his contract.
Kenneth Walker?
Yeah, I think so.
Isn't this only his 2nd year?
This
is year 2 for him.
Is it?
Yeah.
JSN, big game.
JSN, this was his 3rd year.
I got it all mixed up. But yeah, the NFC I think is very strong overall. 49ers always a threat. The Bears, I couldn't forget mentioning them. I think they're going to be a threat. And then better than a lot of AFC teams.
The Lions are still there too. Like where I think they could still be, they're another team that kind of is built like the Seahawks, where they should have a good defense and they have good, weapons around a guy in Jared Goff, who, while he's not a top 5 quarterback, I don't think anyone's going to pick him to build their franchise around, build their offense around. Like, he's a guy who's going to get it done, put the ball where it needs to be, and put drives together and win games. Like, he's a guy who's over the last couple of years put up 50 points in a game multiple times.
Yeah. And then looking ahead for the AFC, I mean, the Patriots, they're going to lose Stephon Diggs most likely.
Yeah.
The weapons still aren't there. Travion Henderson getting another year under his belt. That's good. Stevenson Ramondre Stevenson, that is, getting another year older isn't good. You got Drake May, you got Mike Vrabel, but outside that, and Christian Gonzalez, but outside that, it's not as young of a team as the Seahawks.
If you're in the Patriots position, do you think the number one point of emphasis in the offseason is the offensive line or is the receiving core? It's got to be the O-line after the amount of pressures they gave up, correct?
Maybe, but I mean, nobody was getting open on that side either.
Kayshon
Boutte got one catch for 21 yards. Diggs only had like 4 catches.
Did he even have that many? I didn't
3 or
think he
4
even had
maybe.
that much.
Like maybe like 40 yards.
Pop Douglas was out there.
He had a few catches. He didn't look awful, but just not enough explosiveness on that side.
No, 100%. I think that while they are a young team, and I think they can be good for years to come, especially with Vrabel now. It's a great way to start a new era of that team with Mike Vrabel as their head coach. I think that they still have some stuff to work on before they're ring ready.
I just think we're gonna look back on this one and be like, how'd this team make the Super Bowl? This is gonna be a team you forget about.
Yeah,
being in the Super Bowl.
It's a very forgettable Super Bowl. I think that the most notable thing about the Super Bowl really was like the division of the halftime show. I think that was kind of the biggest storyline going into it, on and off the field.
But then it turned out most people didn't actually care. I think most people watched it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I feel like I saw less people complaining about this Super Bowl halftime show than like years before.
Well, I think that less people were complaining about it because there was another option, I feel like. So then they went to that and they said that they saw that also sucked.
Who's watching that?
And then they didn't want to complain about either.
And then I think there's also the part that people are scared to say, like, the Super Bowl halftime show sucked. Because you'll get people be like, oh, you don't appreciate The culture.
You'll get called a racist just for being like, I mean, it was good, but I don't know. I didn't
Wasn't
know what he
for
was
me.
saying. But
Yeah.
I liked it. Like, yeah, that was.
Yeah. I enjoyed it though.
I did. I enjoyed it too. I thought there was a lot of really good symbolism, some good imagery and stuff. The
Yeah.
sugarcane fields.
Yeah.
A
There's
lot
some
of
things
stuff
that flew over my head.
Yeah, for sure. Before like reviewing it and seeing the breakdowns and stuff
Uh-huh.
of the imagery of the Puerto Rican pride, I for sure missed some stuff.
But he's like the biggest artist in the world, and I've been streaming him a lot more. So I bet he's he's doing great.
I'm sure he's doing great. There was reports that he was wearing a bulletproof vest under his.
That's crazy. That would have been something.
You think that? I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. He was wearing a pretty bulky fit.
Yeah.
He's stripped though.
You can't be too safe out here anymore. Who's the next halftime show performer?
Ooh, who's the next?
I'm going with Miley Cyrus again.
Do they go? I was gonna say they got to go future, right, or female, right? Because the future is female.
I bet there's. I mean, the Super Bowl's in LA next year.
Oh, okay. We'll have to take bets on that in the next segment
for sure.
Stick with us through the break. This is Behind Enemy Lines on WSRR Radio.
Hey, Style here, and I want to take a minute to talk to you about Hellbender Vinyl, a proud supporter of local and independent music and a proud supporter of WSRR Radio. Hellbender Vinyl is one of America's most trusted custom vinyl pressing plants. Located in Upper Lawrenceville on Butler Street, Hellbender is Pittsburgh's first and only vinyl record pressing plant and is here to help local bands and artists get their albums onto vinyl. Hellbender Vinyl offers vinyl record pressings to ensure that albums don't just end up as a bunch of ones and zeros floating around somewhere on the internet. So, if you're interested in giving your album a physical release, you can visit hellbendervinyl.com to start the conversation today. Plus, every customer at Hellbender Vinyl receives 5 free test presses to review at no additional cost. Hellbent on quality, hellbent on service, hellbendervinyl.com.
Hi, this is Melissa.
And hey, it's Matt.
Coming at you from Synergy Music Studio.
We are a recording and production studio located on the south side near Chicago.
Check us out online at synergymusicstudio.com. We offer recording, mixing, and mastering.
And follow us on Instagram at Synergy Music Studio. Rock hard.
Welcome back to your Cleveland Sports Talk Show from Pittsburgh Behind Enemy Lines, right here on WSRR Radio, brought to you proudly by our partners at Hellbender Vinyl, Pittsburgh's first and only custom vinyl record pressing plant, one of America's most trusted record pressing plants, perfect for local and independent artists who want to take their album release to the next level. Don't settle for a bunch of ones and zeros floating around the internet. Have a physical album release with hellbendervinyl.com. Hellbent on quality, hellbent on service. Hellbendervinyl.com. Dom Ferro, you know who was hell-bent on quality and service to his defense this year?
Who's that?
Myles Garrett, Defensive Player of the Year of 2026. The NFL honors hit just before the Super Bowl. We haven't gotten a chance to talk about the Defensive Player of the Year, Myles Garrett, the MVP in Matt Stafford, the Offensive Player of the Year, Jackson Smith-Njigba, the Defensive Rookie of the Year, Carson Schlesinger, and the Offensive Rookie of the Year, which was
our boy.
I actually don't even know.
I'm actually looking that up.
I wanted to say
it was Tet.
Oh, that's right. Your boy, Tet.
Yeah.
Your Tet man.
Yes. I believe. I need to confirm
No,
that.
it was. It was Tet McMillan.
Yeah.
Which
other nominees, Emeka Egbuka, who started off real hot.
At the beginning of the year, I would have bet all my money on it would have been Egbuka.
Felt like it. He
stepped
up.
He was out for a little bit with a hamstring injury. Then, Mike Evans came back from an injury. Baker Mayfield fell off a cliff. Yeah.
Jackson Dart was on there. I believe he was a favorite at one time.
He was. That's right. Tyler Shuck was, maybe not a favorite, but
he was
someone
nominated.
Who came out of the woodwork halfway through the season once he got the start.
Yeah.
It looks like he might be the future in New Orleans, at least for a little bit.
I think Travion Henderson, he was a favorite at one point as well.
Which I thought was crazy.
He had a big game.
He had like
week
2
12.
good games.
Yeah. Surprisingly, Judkins not nominated. I get it probably wouldn't look great for the NFL given like his criminal background.
Missed the first 2 games, then missed the last 5
Yeah,
with an injury.
but I'd argue he had a better season than Henderson and Shug.
100%.
Should have been nominated.
I would agree.
Defensive Rookie of the Year. One of the nominees, James Pierce Jr. You see what happened with him? He got arrested like the next day.
Well, isn't he a Georgia guy?
Yeah,
Those guys are always getting
I
arrested.
think so. He plays for the Falcons.
Yeah.
So
But I think he went to Georgia, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else.
that was something.
I
He'll
think
probably
I am
never
thinking
play
of someone
again.
else. Actually, now that I say that,
Abdul Carter, he got nominated. Bit of a letdown
I think that
season, I think.
Carson Schlesinger was the right pick, and
100%.
it may be because hometown bias, but
No,
I
he
think
was
that-
easily the guy.
I don't think there's anyone else who should have gotten it. If you actually put on the tape and watch him, which again, maybe that's why I'm biased because I watched every Browns game. He's a stud,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm really excited about having him and Myles Garrett on the defensive side. I think that Todd Monken should also be very excited about having the both of them. Speaking of that, I don't know if you saw this, but Todd Monken was like, they were like, "What do you think about losing Jim Schwartz? Like they had the number 1 defense last year under Jim Schwartz, like whatever." Todd Monken was basically like, "Hey, like Jim's a great coordinator, but you saw all the double and triple teams on Myles Garrett last year. Like they weren't double and triple teaming Jim Schwartz. They were double and triple teaming the guys around the field. Like he was like they weren't not throwing at Denzel Ward. He was like they weren't not throwing at Jim Schwartz. They were not throwing at Denzel Ward.
Yeah.
He wasn't the guy who had all these pass deflections and set the sack record and was the defensive rookie of the year. So I kind of liked it was like a little bit of a dig at him in a way, but at the same time, like backing up the guys that they got in the locker room more. And I kind of liked it from Monken. He had no drip in his press conference at all.
He's wearing like jeans. The
Jeans,
biggest jacket over here.
Jeans, an untucked button-up shirt, and a blazer over top of it was not a very good look.
Not the best.
But we'll see what he can do in the film room and on the whiteboard. But yeah, a lot of good things to look forward to for the Browns on the defensive side of the ball because of those two guys.
Surprisingly, none of those guys got nominated for assistant coach of the year. Josh McDaniels won that one, which gets awarded for it, and then puts up one of the worst offensive performances in Super Bowl history. Clint Kubiak, the Seattle coordinator, he just got hired by the Raiders to be their head coach. He was nominated. Brian Flores, he was nominated. Vance Joseph, Vic Fangio, but Josh McDaniels, guy who stunk it up in the Super Bowl, won it all.
Right back to being a coordinator, was a head coach there for a little bit in Vegas.
Yeah.
Hit the road on that and went right back to being a coordinator. There's some guys like we mentioned, I think, a little bit ago that are just they're made to be coordinators, and I think he's one of them.
Yeah, for sure.
And obviously, like you said, stunking up at the Super Bowl a little bit, but like one, they were playing an awesome defense, and two, like I still think he's a good coordinator. And you look at their offense with a second-year quarterback, I think, and not great weapons on the offensive side, which you've said enough already. They still, made it to the Super Bowl and played great all year. They won 14 games.
They did. They were successful.
13, whatever it was.
It's not fun to see the Patriots be good. I'll never
It's not.
root for them.
It is. I will say, like, when going into the Super Bowl, I was kind of on the fence because I was like, I do like Drake May, and I just want a good game. But as the game went on, I was kind of like, I'm really glad the Seahawks won because if the Patriots won and they got a 7th Super Bowl ring, like, it would be annoying.
A bit intolerable.
Yeah.
With Boston fans, they get so much. They've gotten everything.
They really have. Like, they're spoiled enough
Yeah.
already.
Seattle getting another one was fine with me. Who do you think comeback player of the year should have been? It was Christian McCaffrey. You think that who it should have been?
He won comeback player of the year,
Yeah.
really. I did not know that.
Yeah, that one kind of surprised me when I saw it. Because I thought he did get hurt last year, but I think he still played a good amount of games and played well in them.
Probably J.J. McCarthy maybe should have won it.
Maybe next year.
Yeah. No,
needs
this
to.
year he was out his whole rookie year.
It's true. He'd
No,
always
just
come
kidding. He
back.
played terrible this year. Comeback player of the year.
I thought it should have been Aiden Hutchinson. I think that one makes
Yeah,
more
that
sense.
actually does surprise me that it wasn't him.
Didn't have an amazing season, but the devastating injury, still came back, still played in all the games. Dak Prescott was nominated. Pretty good season statistically, but the team didn't perform for him, so I don't think he'd give it to him.
I already know next year's comeback player of the year is going to be Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah for the Browns.
Yeah.
Out all this year with a neck injury that he sustained last season. And another reason that I'm really looking forward to the Browns defense in 2026, because him next to Carson Schlesinger, both of those guys at inside backer,
scary.
It's gonna be something special. Another guy who like you put on the tape and you're like, oh wow, he's one of the best linebackers in the league
For sure.
on a terrible team.
Yeah, those neck injuries, those are tricky though. Hopefully he
Oh yeah.
bounces back to full strength. Trevor Lawrence was another guy who got comeback player of the year. I think that would have been fine if he
I
got
thought
it.
that he was gonna be the guy in all honesty.
And Stephon Diggs was the last guy, which I don't really know. He was hurt with Houston last year most of the year.
Yeah, I think he
but
did hurt his knee last year.
Didn't bounce back that much.
I mean, he played good. He was their best receiver on a really bad receiving core. I shouldn't say really bad. I like Kayshon Boutte and Pop Douglas, but
Not great.
yeah, it's still a bottom
Did something.
10 receiver core in the league probably.
Comeback player of the year. Yeah, I think Trevor Lawrence or Dak or Hutchinson. I think would have been better than McCaffrey or Diggs.
What did Trevor Lawrence come back from? Oh, he did get knocked out last year.
Yeah.
Remember that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he deserved it.
Yeah,
But-
he was getting abused last year.
Yeah. Another season has come and gone though for the NFL.
Now we need to wait months
We do.
till August, late August. Right? Isn't there some preseason then?
Yeah, that's right. We get April or the draft is
Yeah.
in April here in Pittsburgh. So
We're gonna be doing a show live from the draft.
That's right. We'll be doing some coverage there. You guys can look out for that in April. I was thinking about we'll workshop this right now live on the air. I was thinking about putting a table out and just putting
Changed
like
my mind.
Yeah, no, something like that. Yeah. But just say like, give us your hot takes.
Yeah.
Just having randos walk up to us and talk to us on the pod for a little
And
bit.
blast it on TikTok.
Yeah,
I like
exactly.
it. And give them stickers,
Yeah, that's right. Give them some of that WSRR merch.
which you guys should tap into that.
You should. You definitely should. Check out WSRRradio.com.
We got Behind Enemy Lines merch on there. We got merch for all the shows. And just to rep the whole brand, rep the station. They got plenty of stuff on there.
That's right. They got some We Know Ball shirts on there for Behind Enemy Lines. That's
For us.
yeah.
For us only.
That's what you want. That's what you want to be repping. That or genericlothes.com merch.
They're good.
Either one. Either one is
They're great.
is what you want to wear, and
They're
that-
fantastic.
nothing else. I think those are your only two things that should be in your
They're
closet.
comfortable. They're stretchy. They're,
They're straight to the point.
Yep, exactly.
They're high quality, just like this show. Dom, we're watching the Italy and Sweden ice hockey game.
Italy's giving them a game,
That's
too.
right.
All tied up, middle of the second period.
The Paisans people didn't expect this.
They have 4 shots on goal, and Sweden has
Oh my
33,
God.
and
I didn't
it's
even
tied
see that.
2-2.
What have you been watching a lot of the Winter Olympics coverage thus far?
I actually have been watching a lot.
What's your favorite thing that you've seen thus far?
The craziest thing I've seen by far is this guy doing cross-country skiing. He's going uphill, and he's going sub 6-minute mile pace.
Oh my gosh.
He's on skis running uphill. It's like, just look it up on Twitter, Google, whatever, just to see it, because he's running. He's playing a completely different game than the other cross-country skiers. Like they're wilding up the hill. This guy's like, it's like a full sprint with skis.
Yeah.
Unbelievable stuff.
That's one event that like I respect a lot and like see the guys doing it. It's like, yeah, that's a tough thing, but I can't tune into that. I'm not gonna watch
Yeah, I just saw that
an
on
hour or
Twitter.
two of someone skiing
The thing that
on flat land basically.
yeah, but like when they're going uphill, it's like, wow, that guy's working.
Yeah, but
This guy's special though. Like I've never been interested in cross country skiing at all. And then he came on TV last night. And
this guy's he's the Michael Jordan of
I think he is.
cross-country
They did
skiing.
say
He's
he's
gonna
like
get you into it.
they did say he's the face of the sport.
Yeah.
So, and it clearly so. He's different.
I
But
was
yeah,
watching-
hockey's gonna be great. First time with NHL players since 2012.
I was watching figure skating, and there's
pretty
this,
good.
There's this guy, this young American. I think he's like 21 years old. His name
Ilya.
yeah, and he's like supposed to be the hot young thing on the scene.
Uh-huh.
And in like the first day of finals or the first finals competition, I think it was like the singles one or the team one.
Yeah.
So it's like there's this, but then I think this upcoming week or next week there's like another figure skating competition. So it's like whatever.
It's like gymnastics.
Yeah,
You got all
but
types
this Japanese guy
Mm.
upstaged him.
Really?
And won the gold in the singles or teams, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And they were like, these two are going to be battling all week. It was a little bit of like a Blades of Glory
Yeah.
storyline.
Little Marty
And I was like,
Supreme.
oh my gosh, this is going to be gold. And,
Yeah, that is pretty good.
yeah, I thought this
I
was
saw him do a
interesting.
backflip,
Yeah,
which I'd never
I
seen
was going to bring
before.
that up. He did a backflip, and first off, when he did it, me and my fiance were watching. We were like, "Oh, whoa, that's cool!"
Yeah.
But I heard the commentator say, "This, I'm tapped into what the commentators are always saying." Because I don't know what the hell I'm really
Yeah,
watching.
it's necessary.
But they were like, "Yeah, it's legal now," or something like that. So I was like, "Oh, maybe that's whatever." But then my fiance is even more tapped in than I am
Yeah.
because I was reading about it, and apparently that backflip gains him no points.
That's
Like
just for
that,
show.
it's just for show because that's not like a technical move
Yeah.
that's in the oeuvre of the judges, basically. So it was like literally just for showmanship,
That's crazy.
and to do all that work and like on an Olympic stage, like that takes some effort out of you.
Yeah.
Like,
So the Japanese guy went after him, right?
what do you mean?
Like
Went
when
after
they were
him in what way?
like
Physically?
like in the
Verbally?
event. In the event.
Oh, after in
Like
order.
he did his
No,
turn.
he went first, actually. The
The
Japanese
Japanese
guy
guy
went
went
first, and they were like, he's a true artist, and he scored like over 100. Again, I don't understand the scoring,
'Cause
whatever. And then Ilya comes up, and they were like, he's expecting to take gold here, like whatever, like
Yeah.
hyping him up, like he wins everything, is what
Yeah.
they kept saying. He only scored in the 90s.
Because I saw
And
him like
then-
fall and won.
Really?
And then he ended up bouncing back and doing like crazy stuff.
Oh, I didn't
like,
see
doing
that.
All these, yeah.
I saw them saying
They
his
won.
spins weren't fully complete or whatever, but then they were showing the camera on him, like as he's waiting for his score. And once he gets his score, it was like a silver medal score. He was the last one to go, and he was good enough for the silver. And like you could tell he was pissed.
I
Like
bet.
he was like smiling because he wanted to like be grateful, but like you could tell in his
Yeah.
eyes he was not happy in the slightest.
My least favorite thing about figure skating, I think it's like so impressive athletically. The music that they choose is bad.
Yeah,
It's like a lot of like classical music. It's like, can we put in some like DMX,
the one guy skated
21 Savage?
The one guy skated to like the Minions music.
Really?
And he got, I don't know if this was for the Olympics or for like some other competition, but I saw it like last week. He skated to Minions music, and then he got like disqualified because the song wasn't like, for some copyright issue or whatever,
He
that
didn't
the
know that
song wasn't
beforehand?
like approved or whatever.
That should have been like something he knew ahead of time.
I know, right?
Like,
He was
his whole
even dressed in
routine.
like the overalls and a yellow shirt.
I didn't see that at all.
Yeah, look it
That
up.
was insane.
It's kind of fire. Maybe
I'm gonna
that's
have
a dream
to
I
find
had.
this.
I actually don't remember. I've had some wacky dreams the last couple weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't know why I'm like dreaming very lucidly.
it can be scary sometimes.
I had a dream. I told you about this, but I had a dream the other night
Oh,
that me
yeah.
and you were hanging out with Carson Schlesinger.
Yeah,
And for whatever reason, we were like riding bikes around a neighborhood.
it's Stranger Things.
And yeah, it reminded me of like my old, I used to tear it up on the bike around the neighborhood.
For sure.
When
The
I
only
was-
way to get around.
Yeah, that was my main mode of transportation, obviously. And I put more miles on that bike than I probably did on my car in like my freshman year of college. Like I was huffing it.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, we were riding bikes around the neighborhood though, and we were just like hanging out. And I was like, Carson, love to get you on the show, man. And he was like, for sure, man. Let me know when. I'll be on. So
So you gotta send him a DM.
yeah, so look out for a interview with Carson Schlesinger on Behind Enemy Lines. And then weirdly enough, we're still riding bikes like down the street, and we like went like where it was kind of like a park. Like on the left side, there was like some left side of the street. There was like some soccer fields and stuff, and like playground type.
Mm.
And then on the right side was like another field, and the Ravens were in like training camp. And I was like, what the hell's going on over there? And Lamar Jackson had a bike too for some whatever reason, but he was
Everyone's
like,
biking.
yeah, it was a very strange dream. I don't know what was going on. But I was
Sounds
also
pretty
like,
fun.
Wes, this is your chance, dude. Like, give us a look at what they got cooking over there. Give us a little
think it was
inside
fun.
scoop over to Monk and to let them know what they're cooking up on offense.
We gotta send this to him. Let him
Yeah.
know he's been on your mind
He's always on my mind.
always.
Always.
Just like this show's on your mind here.
That's right. Behind Enemy Lines is always on your mind. But yeah, the other crazy thing coming out of the Winter Olympics, to get back to that, did you hear about the ski jumpers?
Yeah.
I was telling you about this at the Super Bowl party,
The
right?
injections.
The injections, that's
You're
right.
in the jab.
They were taking the jab, not by Pfizer or anything,
Like
but
hydroluric acid, something
Hydro-
like that.
something like that.
Did I just make that up?
Hydro,
Some type of acid.
hyaluronic. That's it.
Oh, interesting.
Hyaluronic acid, which I think is something for like in your. It's some type of skincare something.
To make your face like puffy.
I don't know what it does actually.
Well,
Maybe
they were
it is
injecting
because-
in their junk.
So they were, yeah. If you haven't heard this story, look it up. I don't know what countries were doing this, but the ski jumpers for the Winter Olympics were injecting hyaluronic acid directly into their Johnson
Yep.
to inflate it, I guess.
Yeah.
And then the reason for this was they were doing it when they're getting measured for their suit.
Fit it up. Yeah.
Yeah, for their suits to do the jumps in. They're like Olympic suits. They're very skin tight suits.
Yeah.
So they'd have a little bit more room in the grundle area.
Mm.
And then when they get fitted and actually get the suits, there's a little bit more space in that crotch area. So then when they jump, it kind of acts as like a paragliding type.
Yeah. You're less aerodynamic.
Yes, yeah, you are less aerodynamic.
Yeah.
Right. So it kind of catches a draft and almost keeps you up in the air a little bit more, kind of like a kite
Yeah.
in a way. And apparently there's been like whistleblowers on teams in the past. Like I saw a video of like someone you could tell is like their phone was like in their shirt pocket or something. And this team was like re-sewing the crotches of their speed suits or whatever you call them to give them a little bit more space so they have some more flight.
Yeah.
So this isn't like the first time someone's tried to do something to create more flight.
And they're like,
this was the first time they went straight to the peen.
Saw like some of the research, like an inch of extra fabric, like will give you the length of like a car.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
it's huge.
Yeah. They're up in the air for a little bit there.
I gotta be honest, like I saw it on Twitter. It's like one of the first things I saw when I opened it up that day. I was like reading the article and I read like 2 paragraphs. I had to close it. Like it made me uncomfortable. Like,
How could you talking about the jab a little bit too much for you?
How could you even like get to a point where you could like do that to yourself?
It's the drive to win.
Or let anyone do that to you.
That's the drive to win.
That's a step too far. The injection.
Going jabbed to the shaft?
Yeah, that's wild.
Give us some more details. Where were they jabbing it specifically?
You think they were flaccid?
I don't know. You're the one who was reading the article.
I had to shut it down.
Oh, okay.
I had to close that thing.
Well, yeah, they had to be flaccid. There's no way they were getting measured, bricked up. Like,
I think that could have been an easier step.
I was going to say, why didn't they just do that?
Just
I feel like
something like
the measurement people would be like, you're obviously erect, sir. Please tone it down.
Go in there with like half flaccid.
Yeah, just wake it up a little bit.
Exactly.
We had we used to wear speed suits in track in high school.
Yeah.
And my brother told me that there was this one freak, Nick Simon, who would
freak
bull for sure, he'd go over by the fence before like taking his sweatpants off. And they were like, Nick, what are you doing over there? I just got to wake it up a little bit, give the people a show. So he'd give himself a little half chubber.
Little freak bull.
Which is very freak bull-esque. Which, you can only get this type of conversation. These topics, how the freak bulls get into sports right here on Behind Enemy Lines. So stick with us through the final break for our final segment right here on WSRR Radio.
Don't leave freak bulls.
What's the difference between the shirt you're currently wearing and the one that I am? Well, both do their job of concealing us from the outside world and social boundaries. But one little black swoosh makes yours cost nearly double. That red rectangle may not change how warm you are, but it certainly changes the price tag. The truth is, nobody cares about the details. Get to the point with GenericClothes.com. Have a laugh at the big brand clothing company's expense with shirts that simply say sports team, political statement, music band, and more. A shirt for any occasion and the perfect gift. GenericClothes.com.
Welcome back to Behind Enemy Lines right here on WSRR Radio, brought to you by GenericClothes.com. Nobody cares about the details. Get to the point at GenericClothes.com. Don't sell out to the big brand clothing empires and their prices. Make a statement at their expense with GenericClothes.com. GenericClothes.com once again is sponsoring our Behind Enemy Lines March Madness tournament. So keep an eye out for that. In the coming weeks, we will be coming out with another link to join our March Madness Bracket Challenge, where GenericClothes.com will once again be providing the winner with a contest winner t-shirt. Had great success last year with our March Madness Bracket Challenge. So look out for that once again here on Behind Enemy Lines. Make sure you are following WSRR Radio on all the socials so you know when that drops, as well as listening to absolutely every second of content that Behind Enemy Lines puts out, as well as all the other shows here on WSRR Radio, all the spectacular concerts, I almost said. All the spectacular content, rather.
Plenty of that.
That WSRR Radio puts out. Really, honestly, I feel like you probably should just be having the station on 24/7. Like, there's no reason to turn
Why
it
not?
off.
It's great background noise. It's great noise to pay attention to.
That's right.
It's everything.
Why would you ever need to turn it off is really my main question.
Yeah.
Like, there's
You
no
should have,
reason you couldn't have us on.
Like sound canceling headphones or earbuds in. Tune
Yeah.
out the rest and tune this in.
That's right. That's right. That's exactly what you need. Dom, interesting news coming out of Pittsburgh this week in the past of the Steelers.
Mhm.
You want to break the news about your boy Seven, as they were calling him?
Yeah, so he
They went J.J. McCarthy and just went by his number. I like
8
that.
or
8.
9.
Whoa.
Whatever. I don't
7,
care about that guy. 6'7", who cares? It doesn't matter because Ben Roethlisberger, 2-time Super Bowl champion, Steelers legend. He was getting trashed.
Future Hall of Famer.
100%. Maybe next year even leading like the ballots for that. But Joey Porter Sr., not Junior, don't get mistaken. The old man Porter, who was his teammate in the 2005 Super Bowl. I'm not sure if he was there in 2009. I don't think he was. But Joey Porter, he called him out on Cam Hayward's podcast. Cam Hayward being the current player, so you get a little mix of both. You got the dad of a current player, you got the current player hosting it. But he basically said that Ben Roethlisberger was a poor teammate. This came after him talking about James Harrison. He didn't like how James Harrison kind of trashed Mike Tomlin. James Harrison said that Tomlin wasn't a good coach. And then Ben Roethlisberger, a few days later on his podcast, said something similar. Like Mike Tomlin just, maybe it was time to move on, basically. And Joey Porter didn't like that. Like, there's some diehard Tomlin guy.
Uh-huh.
And Porter let him know. He said, like, Ben shouldn't be the guy talking about this because he's a bad teammate.
They went as far to say he's a bad guy.
He did say that at the end, which I hope that was just like not intentional. But now the big thing is you got guys, current Steelers players, former Steelers players commenting on this video on Instagram. You got Mason Rudolph saying "go off" at Joey Porter, Kevin Dotson saying stuff, Zach Banner. Everyone's like supporting Porter here. And of course this happens in the offseason. It's going to be a major distraction now. But yeah.
It seems like the Steeler way seems to be like fading a bit. Like, I feel like from the outside looking in, everyone thinks the Steelers are such a spectacular organization, and I, for one, am another person who thinks that. Never a losing season with Tomlin. 6 Super Bowls, that tied for the most in franchise, of any franchise in the NFL. Obviously a very constant winning program. And now, maybe it's because of the regime change with Tomlin being out, but like a lot of stuff is coming out now, and it seems like a lot of, behind the scenes stuff is coming to the light and showing a lot of unhappiness from players, coaches, even some front office members. Like, what's going on right now?
Yeah. I mean, like Zach Banner, former offensive lineman, he commented on it. He was like, I can't wait to talk about this. So, like, there are guys who want to, like, say stuff, but they know that, it probably isn't best for their careers.
No, you even said, you had said something about that he wasn't practice guy, Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think a lot of people in Pittsburgh know that Ben Roethlisberger probably wasn't the great teammate, but he won us Super Bowls. He's a legend. So I think you got to appreciate him for what he is. I don't appreciate like just all the trash talk in both ways. We're Steelers. We got to stick together here, and these guys aren't doing that.
Yeah, we are Steelers.
Yeah, we.
Yeah.
We as in those guys.
Okay, yeah.
Speaking as Joey Porter. But the thing is, Joey Porter was also a coach, too. So he played a few years with Ben as a player, and then he was his coach for also several years. So he's seen all sides of this guy.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm sure, too, also, like, being in the coach's room and hearing other coaches, what they had to say about him, I'm sure there's some stuff that happens in those coaching rooms, the film room late at night when it's just the coaches, conversations that go on there, as much as they love the guys that they have on the field and the guys who win them Super Bowls and, the guys who win a lot of games at high school, college, any level, I feel like no one's safe in those film rooms and when there's a door, or excuse me, a room with locked doors and nothing but coaches behind it. I think pretty much everyone's going to get trashed.
Yeah.
And I think that I'm sure that Ben was not spared of that at all. Like, I'm sure they were like, yeah, he's great. He's a great quarterback and he's won us a lot of games, but he's a piece of shit and he has terrible effort and blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm sure it was always the, prefaced by, now we love Ben. We love Ben, but his efforts.
They'd be like, God damn it, he's the most talented guy on this team by far.
Yeah, like if it was no one else could get rid of it or get away with that.
Yeah.
Except for him.
And AB.
And AB, of course. Well, AB can get away with it.
There were a lot of guys.
A lot of things.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to hear a lot of the stories from these teams in the future.
I feel
a lot
like
of these guys want to talk.
I remember always seeing like pictures of Ben Roethlisberger from like training camps and practices, and like he'd be wearing a helmet with no chin strap.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what's going on? That like not even one that was unbuckled too, just like not on. And like that alone, if you've been around football now, of course, a non-contact position, especially in like training camp and stuff for a quarterback, it probably doesn't matter as much, but like still coaches are going to be like, strap up your chin strap. You know what I mean, no matter what you're doing, even if you're doing like a non-contact drill, a warm-up thing, like a lot of coaches are going to say like, hey, strap up a little bit,
But Ben, after winning 2 Super Bowls, there wasn't anything you could tell him.
No, yeah, he could do whatever he wanted.
He got paid the bag. Like he ran that place, especially the last like 8 years.
Oh yeah, I mean it was his team.
Yeah,
for sure.
Rightfully so.
I even remember you saying last year, like, I think this was before. No, yeah. It was, Aaron Rodgers is meeting up with DK Metcalf in the offseason, throwing routes.
That shows great.
That shows great. Well, yeah, like other guys.
All the
like,
boys.
He's meeting up with the Steelers and throwing routes in the offseason. Like, he's ready. He's dialed in. You don't see people doing that. And I was like, yeah, you do. That's like kind of almost the bare minimum for a quarterback and receivers to do in the offseason. And your argument was, well, Ben didn't do that.
My other argument is like,
not right.
My other argument is like, is Shador going to do that?
If he wants to be a starting quarterback, he should.
But I don't think he's a good teammate, so he probably won't.
You keep Shador out of your mouth.
But yeah, like the guys.
One of our teams had a Pro Bowl quarterback this year. Only one of our teams.
But it's clear, like the guys who want to win in the NFL, and those are the guys who never stop going at it.
Yeah.
Rodgers, Brady, Stafford. It's not just being old; it's what you do in the offseason. And I don't know how much Roethlisberger was getting done in the offseason.
Yeah, and even in season, the off the field stuff.
Do you think it's possible for quarterbacks to do that anymore? Is there anybody in the NFL right now who's so talented where, they can skate by without doing much? I think
it shows up quicker now, and especially like in a physical sense. Now, I do think there are some guys who like are built in a way that, they can get away with it a little bit more, but like. Mahomes, some of the hits he takes, like, and you watch, like, that quarterback show, like, the stuff that he's doing off the field on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis, like, to keep his body ready is, like, he needs to do that or else he wouldn't be able to stay healthy for as long as he has. Now, of course, this year, ended his season with a torn ACL, but I don't know if you can get away with it anymore. And, again, I know that, like, the NFL was still really, really good 10, 15 years ago, but like I do think the impact and the stress on your body has only increased as the talent has increased in the NFL.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine guys coming in now weighing over 250 pounds being a quarterback.
Is that what he was at? He's a big cat.
Yeah, probably not. I'm thinking more.
Cam was weighing
probably about that.
Cam Newton,
him, like Jamarcus Russell. Jared Lorenzen was like,
oh well, that's a whole nother.
But he was in the NFL. Lefty. He made it to the NFL. Like that'll never happen again. I think you'd be more likely to find a Muggsy Bogues type in the NBA before a Lorenzen.
Well, they do have one. Did you see the guy for the Bulls?
No.
Yuki something says Cam Newton was 245.
That's pretty much 250.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that he was a little bit more too. I forget what his name is, Yuki Yakamura or something like that. The guy for the Bulls, he's like 5'7", shortest player in franchise history.
Oh,
where is it? Yuki Kawamura, that's it. Look at this guy.
Getting minutes?
Yeah, he's been playing recently, or at least he did. He won a jump ball the other day.
He's got 4 rebounds a
5'7",
game.
159.
4 rebounds a game.
4 revs, holy shit. Now, I don't know how much he's actually playing, but 29% free field goal percentage. My God, Yuki.
Got to step that up.
3-point.
3 points higher.
Where's his 3-point percentage?
30%.
Where are you at? 30.
Yeah.
Man, that's why. Well, yeah, I'm sure when
He's
you're
a 3-point
5'7",
guy.
probably better at shooting from the outside than
Tough to get
inside.
shots off.
Yeah, not very easy
In
there.
the
But
paint.
yeah, Yuki Kawamura. Yeah, he won a jump ball the other day. It was pretty crazy. What about the Malice at the Palace? Did you see that with the new Malice at the Palace? The Pistons and the Hornets getting a little
Yeah, I kind of saw
there.
that.
I think that as much as you hate to say it, it's kind of good for the league.
Oh, 100%.
Gets people talking about the league, of course, first, but like
You should
gets
let
people more interested.
the players fight. You should let them fight.
You think
Like-
the NBA should just go into hockey mode?
That's
and
the best part about hockey, when you get a fight, because
Yeah.
they are so rare. Like, it went too far to point with hockey where there are just fights every game.
Yes.
But it's the same thing in NBA. Like, these things only pop off maybe once a month. You've got hundreds of games, maybe even thousands
Yeah.
across
What?
all the teams.
Each team plays 82 games.
Yeah.
82 times 30.
Well,
What's that number?
but
I
then
don't
the
know.
teams are playing each other. I
Yeah,
don't-
whatever. You know
who
how it
cares?
goes. Who gives a
Anyways,
shit?
Math.
I do think that, one, it shows too that like guys are trying to win. They care about it. I don't know if they
For
actually
sure.
are trying to win or if they just are
I heard,
scrappy. But
Nick Wright.
yeah,
Yeah, he was on Bill Simmons' podcast the other day, and Bill Simmons said, like, what can we do to make the NBA All-Star Game watchable? He said, well, like, maybe in a few years, like if we got rid of, like, political correctness, like, black versus white NBA could actually be a good game now.
Nick.
And Bill Simmons was like, unbelievable. But then he was, like, naming it. I'm like, yeah, you can't do that, but you could do U.S. versus international, and that
Which they do
basically
have.
turn out the same.
Yeah, that's what they have now. That's what this
Really?
year it's U.S. versus the world in that commercial.
Is that the first time they're doing that?
I think they did it last year too.
Did they?
Yeah.
Wow.
The only thing is, it's not black versus white because they got like Siakam and
Because I think
and Giannis.
Nick Wright's thing is like people would actually play hard in that.
That is true.
Which, like, if we could just like forget everything, but we can't do that.
I don't know
Of
about
course,
I don't know how I feel talking about that. That makes me feel a little bit icky. I'm not gonna lie.
Nick Wright brought it up, not us.
Nick Wright, what the hell's wrong with you, man? Black versus white, that's crazy. The division.
But
in
they
America.
people were saying that about the NFL. That was like trending on Twitter last year.
That wouldn't even be a game.
Probably
I'm
not.
sorry. I hate to say that.
You got Cooper DeJean.
Okay, who else is going to
J.
be in
Watt.
that? Who else is going to be in that secondary?
Secondary's tough.
DeJean and what's his name? Blankenship.
Yeah. You got the
you got some.
Eagles.
They'll be deep at safety, but
Yeah.
corner.
We're
They
gonna
got
have to
Riley
pull some
Moss.
safeties to cornerback. It's gonna
Yeah.
be tough. Cooper Kupp. He's a little old now.
Yeah,
Would he be wide receiver 1 or
Thielen.
Lad McConkey?
Lad would have to be one.
Thielen as 3 is tough though.
No, that's not your 3. What about Alec Pierce from the Colts? Something like that. There's other guys that could fill out that roster.
The offense wouldn't be
receiver-wise.
bad.
No, I don't think the defense would be too bad except for the secondary.
Yeah.
Really, just the
You get
corners.
exposed.
I think they'd be fine in their front 7.
Yeah.
Schlesinger would be in there for sure.
It'd be a great game. Because the Pro Bowl, it was like on a Tuesday this year.
Oh my!
I don't know anyone who watched it.
No, I don't think anyone did. That's the thing.
I think it was another like dodgeball type year.
Yeah, there's no one who's watching that. Unlike this show, because we know everyone's listening to this show, and
Yeah.
continue that throughout the off season. We'll have so much fun stuff to bring you all off season before we kick off the 2026 football season. So stick with us all year round, every time, every Friday, 10 a.m. right here on WSRR Radio. Have a spectacular weekend.
Peace.
The preceding program was a sponsored production. The views, claims, and ideas expressed may not represent those of WSRR Radio.